Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and welcome to Feltboard Friday, where every Friday until I run out, I'll be telling a story using little Velcro puppets to tell the story. Today, I actually have the book and the puppets, so I'll be using both. And if you enjoyed the story of Corduroy, there's also a Corduroy playlist also on this channel, including a version of Corduroy without puppets. So, the story Corduroy was written in 1968 by Don Freeman, and it tells the story of a sweet little bear and how he finds a home. If you're ready to hear this story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. Corduroy. Ooh, Corduroy. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. So we can see our little Corduroy. He's just waiting on the shelf with the other stuffies waiting to get a home. The store was always filled with shoppers, buying all sorts of things. But no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then, one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." So you can see that Corduroy is missing the strap of his overalls. And Mom says he doesn't look new, even though the little girl says it's the bear she's always dreamed of. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. So sad. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight, I'll go and see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. So he didn't know he was missing his button for his overalls, but now he's on a mission to go find it. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he stepped onto the escalator and up he went. Could this be a mountain? He wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. So for a little guy, that escalator is like a big mountain, and he thinks, I think I've always wanted to do this. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was the most amazing sight. Tables and chairs, lamps and sofas, rows and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I've always wanted to live in a palace." He's up here and he's looking around. And he's never seen this many beds or furniture. He thinks he's in a palace. He wandered around, admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto a large, thick mattress. He climbed up on that bed. All at once, he saw something small and round. "Why, "Here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But, like all the other buttons on the mattresses, it was tied down tight. So he's pulling really tight, but that's part of the mattress. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop, off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Uh-oh, can't see that. Over it went with a crash. Uh-oh. You can see little Corduroy, it hurt his ears. But he might have gotten his button. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above when he heard the crash and came dashing down the escalator. "Now, who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." So he's looking around, seeing what made that crashing sound. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all. And there he saw 2 fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Now, who could that be? "Well, hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" So he's not scared, but he says, "What are you doing here? This isn't your department. You belong in the toy department." The night watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator. So now the night watchman is taking Corduroy back downstairs. He's back where he needs to be. And he set him back on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. So Corduroy's back where he was, where he came from. And he looks sleepy. Very sleepy. Everyone looks tired. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers were coming to the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I'd saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." So Corduroy recognizes Lisa from yesterday, and she's gone home and counted out her piggy bank, and her mom brought her back to the store so that she could take Corduroy home. "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight into her own room. So Corduroy has gone home with Lisa, and they've run to her room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be a home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." We can see that it's not as big as the department store, but alongside Lisa's bed, there's a little bed just for Corduroy. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." So she didn't care that he was old and didn't look new. And she said, "I like you just the way you are, but I want you to be comfortable." And she sewed the button onto his overalls. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the story of Corduroy and his fixed overall strap, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down there at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. And if you enjoyed hearing a story with very small Velcro puppets, please tune in every Friday until I run out for a Felt Board Friday story. I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.